right, happy Friday. It is snowing out right now. Heading to the gym. We're gonna do another full body day, primarily focusing on some shoulders and legs again. But today, it was a crazy week, you know. Just like a lot of, you know, January for my type of business, you know, being a coach and stuff like that, it's just like everyone's so focused on their fitness and nutrition right now. And I got new clients onboarding, managing current clients, you know, that's the stuff you guys don't see, and I don't show you that much of it, but I mean, that takes up a lot of my day. So, but there's a lot of good things happening. You know, I'm gonna start onboarding to a new platform, which will happen soon. I have some people working under me. I'm hopefully gonna be progressing my AI workout builder soon. So, you know, while managing my clients, you know, getting these other kind of things going and then managing my fitness, it's just like, it's always a juggling act. But I know that, you know, you're going through the same thing too. So, you know, one of the things today is it's not about having the perfect lift, it's just about me showing up.
All right, so we're gonna be starting off doing some strict press. I got 175 in the bar. So this is definitely a little bit on the heavier side for me, so I'm not gonna be doing a ton of reps. But something I wanna think about is trying to get a full range of motion. So you'll see that I want my arms in line with my ears. So something that a lot of, like, you know, when I first started, I would kind of push, but my arms are going forward, and that can cause over time some just like shoulder impingement. So you really wanna make sure you do the best you can to get your arms in line with your ears and get that full range of motion. If you're tight, you can also just like hang. Sometimes I do sort of like a quick hang to kind of open up my lats here. So just like simple things just to kind of make sure that you're nice and loose and get your arms right overhead. The other thing too is I like to take my shoes off for this as well. So I'm really connected with the floor. And when I'm getting set up, I want my feet set up like I'm in a squat stance. I want to brace my core, keep my eyes gazed up. Because it's a little heavy, I am going to probably get like a little bit of a bounce. That's okay. You know, when you're going heavy like this, it's not about being totally perfect. So it's not going to be complete strict press. So let's get at least a couple reps in here. All right, set one down, and then I'm going to superset that with some lateral raises. So you'll see that next. All right, so I decided to mix it up a little bit. I knocked out the strict presses just on its own. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna superset with some bent over rows here. So when I do the bent over rows, I wanna keep my feet about hip width apart, right? I wanna hinge with my hips here, and I really wanna make sure I'm keeping my shoulders kind of down and back here, right? Because when I pull, I wanna bring that barbell into my hip crease. We're not going straight up for this, okay? So we're bringing it into the hip crease, and we really wanna focus on engaging our lats here. But in order to do that, you really have to make sure that you're, you know, keeping, it's gonna also be working your erector, so keeping a neutral spine. So let's get into it. Take a second for the setup here. And I might do a kind of like this type of grip here. So one over, one under, and I'll switch it up between each set. So I'm just deadlifting it up, hinge the hips back. Whew. All right, sweet. And now, just gonna add in some lateral raises here. So for these, feet close together, I'm gonna pinch my shoulders back, And I'm not gonna have my arms go straight out. They're gonna have, elbows gonna have a little bend in these. Wow. So those are a little heavy. I typically do 30s, but they were taken on the rack. So when you do the lateral raises, that's an exercise. You know, I put it in like the kind of accessory category where it's really about just getting a lot of reps in, getting like that sort of burn in your shoulders, going to failure. Well, the barbell bench over row is really where you want to stay in a certain rep range and just really make sure that you have good form, but also you are really challenging yourself with the weight. Lateral raises, it's not so much about the weight, it's about really getting that sort of like shoulder burn and you know, doing a lot of reps. All right, gotta take a rest now. So what we're gonna be doing next, this is an exercise that you should be going heavy. You know, obviously this is gonna be working your glutes. Just make sure you're tied in here, nice and tight. And what I like to do sometimes too, if you wanna make it a little bit harder, is instead of just doing the reps, do like a half-second pause at the top. That's really gonna activate your glutes, but also I always try to make sure I'm getting like as much as I can, like a full range of motion. So let's get going. Woo! Oh man, it burns. Other thing too, you want to try to keep that chin tucked forward, eyes forward. If you keep your eyes straight up, you're gonna get all dizzy with your head. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna superset that with some walking weighted lunges. So we'll get into that next. Okay, so I'm tired. Those lunges just knock me out. But when you do those lunges, try to make sure I keep my knees at around 90 degrees when I do them. I'm not having that front knee come too far forward between each rep. And I'm really driving up with that front leg, that front glute. And when I was holding it, the dumbbells up and in front, it's definitely a progressive move, but that really emphasizes your core while you're doing the lunges. So now I definitely need a few minutes to recover. Whew. Now, last exercise, we're always finishing with some core. So this time we're gonna do some rotational work. So as you saw in the other videos, you know, it's doing a lot of like ab flexion, sit-ups, leg raises, those type of things. But it's so important to work your core in other modalities, right? So I'm just gonna do just kind of straight across, but even if you wanna mix it up, go from down up or up down like a chop. There's many different variations you can do it, but it's gonna hit all different areas of your core. Like I said, to really build that strong tree trunk type of foundation, you need to be doing all this stuff. So we're gonna just get this set up here. I'm gonna choose like a medium weight. It doesn't have to be like wildly heavy. I'm gonna have this set up around chest height, and we're just gonna start taking 2 steps out. And I'm gonna make sure my feet are a little bit wider than shoulder width apart, but not much wider than that because it's gonna make it easier. And we're just going to really do your best to pull through with your core and get that full rotation. And now we're gonna switch sides here. Now, one other tip too, sometimes you wanna just keep your eyes gazed forward, because if you're turning your head too much, you might get a little dizzy while doing this. So keep those eyes forward. Almost there. Oh yeah. Oh. And just like I mentioned too, it's like any core exercise, you really want to work yourself till failure. You know, if you're not going to failure, you're wasting your time with your abs. So I'm gonna do 4 rounds of this. You just keep rotating them, and that's it for the workout. All right, I got a little bit of a surprise because I had a great week of eating this week, got my 3 non-negotiable lifts in. I'm actually going to treat myself. So, what is that treat? Take a look at this. It's a large 4-topping Domino's pizza, to make it even better, with some ranch. So, look, I believe in having some balance. Every once in a while, you gotta, you know, enjoy life. I have my girlfriend Lori here. She's already a step ahead of me.
Did you do it?
So I'm gonna enjoy this meal, and then we'll get back after it tomorrow. So I hope you enjoy your Friday as well, and have a good night.